Welcome back to Amateur Hour TV. This is the second channel in the Amateur Hour network of content. On this channel, myself, Jacob, takes you through additional NBA-related content, especially concerning the Toronto Raptors, that I just do not have enough time to get to on my main channel. So instead, we do so on this channel. And on this channel, I just let myself loose. I'd be a little bit less formal, a little bit more of a personal touch from myself. You get more of the real me on this channel, but still NBA content with that focus on the Raptors that you want to see. At least I hope that you want to see. Before we get into this one, be sure to drop a like on today's video, give that support to the channel, help it reach some new viewers. And if you really enjoy and you want to see more videos like this 2, 3, 4 times a week, then make sure you are subscribed to Amateur Hour TV. Okay, NBA GMs were surveyed regarding various topics, and the Raptors and Raptors personnel did appear in some of the ballots here, did appear in some of the results, and we want to go through some of those today. We want to go through coaching, best coaches in the league, and we also want to go through home court advantage and who has the best in the NBA. And we're going to start out with, what I put in the title and thumbnail. We want to talk about the head coaching. And Nick Nurse, oh my goodness. I really like Nick Nurse to start off. I think he's a great coach. I think there are some certain deficiencies in his coaching, namely his timeout calls are weird sometimes, and I don't agree with them sometimes. And his ability to draw up a last shot sort of play have continuously pissed me off since we hired him. Like, you go to some iconic shots like OG Anunoby's buzzer beater against the Celtics, obviously Kawhi's Game 7 shot against the Sixers. Both of those were horrible plays. Like the Kawhi shot in particular, what a horribly drawn up play. Like Kawhi, he hit the shot, one of the greatest NBA shots of all time, probably top 2. He had to shoot it over Joel Embiid and Ben Simmons fading away in the corner. Like that wasn't a good shot. Anyways, Nick Nurse, despite that, is a fantastic coach, and many NBA GMs agree. Which head coach has the best defensive schemes, best defense? Second, like barely second, 31% of the votes too, like a big margin from second to third, is Nick Nurse, which is great to see. Then you go to which head coach runs the best offense. Steve Kerr, way out up front. That's not very surprising. But hey, Nick Nurse tied for third here, getting 7% of the votes. They like his offense. They really, really like his defense. And hey, you go to the best in-game adjustments. Ty Lue is topped by quite a bit, but tied for second here with Eric Spoelstra is Nick Nurse. So Nick Nurse, top 2 defensive coaches, top 4 offensive coaches, top 3, offensive coaches, top 2 in-game adjustment coaches. So how do NBA GMs feel about Nick Nurse overall as a head coach? Who is the best head coach in the NBA? Okay. Where is Nick Nurse? You guys said you loved his defense, you loved his offense, you loved his in-game adjustments, but you don't like him. Like, how does that make any sense? How does that make any sense?
It just don't add up.
I mean, you're giving him respect, right? You're giving him the respect as a defensive and offensive coach, but then you don't give him respect in the overall head coaching vote. And I get there's other things that go into being a head coach besides just offense, defense, and in-game adjustments. I get there's other things, there's like man management you have to talk about, getting the most out of your players, but given the fact that Raptors players consistently have developed and gotten better under Nick Nurse, it would seem to me like he's also pretty good at doing that as well. I don't know. Like, they are voting for him in these specific categories, but not voting for him as an overall head coach. That is just very strange to me. I mean, Nick Nurse, he's been a coach of the year in the NBA. He's won an NBA championship in his short NBA career. I really like him as a coach. I think he gets the most out of this Raptors unit. We've really built this team catered to the style he wants to play, these athletic sort of wings. It's always about Masai Ujiri wanting all these athletic wings, but it's also Nick Nurse getting the most out of them and understanding that he can get the most out of this sort of player. So, it's on Masai Ujiri to get them for him, but Nick Nurse is a guy who gets the most out of them typically on the court, and he's a great coach, and he's orchestrated some excellent season for the Raptors last year. Last year was supposed to be a transition season one where, okay, we're not tanking, but we're also not going to be very good. Well, then we were very good. We won 48 games and we're the 5th seed in the Eastern Conference. Nick Nurse probably should have gotten a little bit more Coach of the Year vote recognition. Don't think he should have won the award. Don't think he even should have been a finalist, but I think he should have had a little bit more representation in the voting ballots. But, as you see from NBA GMs here, not even voting for him not even getting a vote for best coach in the league, as you can see. Maybe there's not as much respect as I would have thought there to be for old Saint Nick. But let's move into the second thing that had Raptors fans talking from this GM survey. And that question, I'm sure you've seen it online, was which team has the best home court advantage in the NBA? Now, I saw the headline here. Which team has the best home court advantage in the NBA? Now, I really do believe that the Raptors have one of, if not the best home court advantages in the NBA. Consistently, they have outstanding home court records. Obviously, not in the Tampa season because we weren't even playing at home. We were playing in Tampa. That's not a home court. We're playing in an entirely different country. That shouldn't count. If you take away that, we are exceptional at home, especially when the Raptors were like one of the forces in the Eastern Conference. They consistently had the best or a top 2 home court record in the NBA. A lot of that is down to their home court advantage because of their fan base. And maybe a little bit to my surprise, NBA GMs agree. Which team has the best home court advantage? The Raptors. And that is definitely down to the fan base. Also getting votes are the Celtics. Fans are loud there. Don't really like their fan base, but you know what it is? It is what it is. It is what it is. Denver, 17% of the votes. Now, this is an interesting one because you wouldn't attribute Denver to having the fan base, the super loud fan base out of the games. But Denver, well, they play in Denver. Mile High City, the altitude there, really difficult to go and play there. So that was a good one to vote for. Golden State as well, another team that gets a really, really good home court records every single year in that just behemoth of an arena. But the Raptors, number 1 in that category. That is great to see. And nice to see Raptors fans get that sort of respect from opposition teams. And the Raptors have consistently been a difficult place to go and play, especially when it gets to playoffs. Like, that stadium can be rocking. And if you don't believe me, just ask LeBron James.
Do you hear this?
They're
Do you hear
incredible.
this? Unbelievable respect and much respect to these fans, to this country. This is unbelievable. I've never been a part of something like this in my 13-year career. This is special, and they really appreciate what their team did. To get back to your question, Doris.
And what's probably a little bit crazier about that and how loud it got for a situation like that, what might be a little bit more stunning, the Raptors just lost the series at that point. The Raptors had just lost in 6 games in the Eastern Conference Finals to the Cleveland Cavaliers as LeBron, LeBronto, blah, blah, blah. We've heard enough about that. But, I mean, that's just one example. The Raptors have been recognized here, even after a season where they lost in the first round of the playoffs, of having that insanely good home court advantage. And it's nice to see that sort of recognition there. But going back to the Nick Nurse thing, I mean, it just don't add up. It just don't add up. And what's super frustrating about it is he doesn't get the recognition as one of the best NBA coaches, but all these other coaches and teams steal his schematics. Like, they respected his defensive schematics, and they said that, but not as a coach. Like one thing that really, really pissed me off, this most recent season, you're allowed to steal what other coaches do, right? Like, that's how you learn. Like, when a coach has a sort of scheme that works really well, and other people are going to steal it because it works, and they like it. In the 2019 NBA Finals, the Raptors employed the box and one to defend Steph Curry and the Golden State Warriors. And it worked to outstanding avail. Fred VanVleet was guarding Steph Curry. Curry, when guarded by Fred, did not shoot well at all. Like the splits from when Fred was defending Curry compared to when other players were defending Curry was crazy. And it was very much down to the way the Raptors employed their defense against him, right? When Steph Curry, after the fact, was asked about the Raptors' defense, what they showed against him, after the finals, he said it wasn't anything special, it wasn't anything different. Okay, strange, because Fred really locked him up in that series. But guess what the Golden State Warriors last season en route to an NBA championship in the playoffs, guess what defensive scheme they were using to help themselves win that championship? The box and one. So the not impressive, nothing special defense thrown at the Warriors to beat them in the finals was used by the Warriors en route to a championship. They're always out there stealing Nick Nurse's shit and then don't give him any sort of credit for it. That was just something that really pissed me off, and it was very, very funny for Steph Curry to be the one using the box and one after saying basically it wasn't shit. Anyways, that's how I feel about those things. Cool, we got the respect for home court. Cool, Nick Nurse got the respect for his schemes, but not as an NBA coach overall. I don't understand, but, whatever. Whatever will be, will be. Thank you so much for watching this video of Amateur TV. If you did enjoy, be sure to drop a like. Goes a long way to supporting the channel. Only takes you a second to drop a like, but it does help me out a lot. And also, make sure you are subscribed to Amateur TV for more videos like this every single week, 2-3 times a week. And make sure you're checking out my main channel, Amateur Sports. I do 3 more professionally done Raptors videos every single week, plus now a watch party for every single Raptors game. Go check those out. Hope to see you at the watch party for the game against the Houston Rockets. And I will see you again next time for another video on Amateur TV. Thank you, guys.